Welcome back, folks. Another day, another dollar. So this is a trade going to do breakdown of the trade I took on GER40, as always, on today, 17th of August. It was a later London Open, happened after the stream. So what I'm going to do is just sort of replay it and break down what I was looking for. Let's have a look. So let me just bring up the charts. I haven't touched this since I ended the stream because I was out, but the trade I executed on was on the phone. And I put it in the Discord just to say, like, where I'm looking, when I'm looking to take the trade, anticipation entry it was going to be. Why this area? So let's replay this day, start from the beginning. Okay, so as you can see, the daily candle had pushed. It's a little bit messy because of all the drawings and that. For some reason, the arrows, the pathway is a little bit funny. But looking at this, you've only got to think, cells make sense. Look for maybe a retracement up into these wick areas and then just keep on pushing bearish because like the support is down here, plenty of room to go down. Always going to be a little bit tricky in this area because this is like where you got three wicks lining up. Okay, so we've got wick 1, wick 2, wick 3. So this whole area is going to be an area of support. Okay, so we just had to like fight through that. When we hit a little bit of a support, doesn't change the trend, but it often means we get a bit of a pullback and then we can push down. So let's go into the Asian session. This was, let me just stay on the daily for a little bit. Like this whole area, very, 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 very interesting area. 4 hours, nice and bearish. Price is pushing down. This is the close on last night. Obviously, we don't trade in the Asian session, so I'm just going to skip forward these candles. Okay. I'll put on the session so you can see what happened. Here's the Asian session. And that ended more or less. This is the last candle of the Asian session. So what I was saying in the stream, once again, kind of a bit of a curveball because this week we've had large Asian sessions. So this one was a large one. This one was a large one. Even this one, to a degree, was a large one. Anything that's more than 60 pips. Okay, see this one's 63 pips. To me, that's pretty good range for an Asian session. It's not normal, yeah. So Monday we had 120, 123. Today we had 118, I think it was 110 pips. You go back in history, and then you can say, like, how often do we get this kind of size Asian session? Small, 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 very small, 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 small. So it's been an interesting week. It's been a lovely week, but interesting week. When the Asian session, sort of like this is the first, like this is the start of like Tokyo close, but I'm more interested in the 7 o'clock UK time candle. Okay, so this is the 6 to 7 a.m. This is the 7 to 7:30 candle. So it's a monster. It's a monster one. So you don't really want to trade against this. This is going to show bullishness coming out of like Frankfurt Open. And often then, if this is the volume that's coming in from it, I wasn't really looking for buys. So I didn't want to trade against this one. So I had to wait a while for this trade to play out. This candle here is different than the candle over to the left, this one here. Same time, this candle, let me just squeeze it so you can see both of them. See how you got this candle. This is the same time, 7 a.m. And this one here is a 7 a.m. one as well. Now, what's the difference between them? Well, the body's bigger on today's one, but what it lacked was a bottom wick, where this one here had a beautiful bottom wick. So this one like pulled liquidity, closed as a bullish engulfing bar, and then I was happy to ride that wave up with it. Today's one didn't really have that wick. So I like the rejection liquidity pulled from here, but I wanted to hang on to my selling bias. I just had to wait for the price to slow down. So this was one potential pathway. It's a little bit skewed. It's a bit weird. I'll go to the lower time frame because that's where how I had drawn it. thinking that, why is it thinking that it could react from these areas? Well, this could react here because this is the Asian high. There's always going to be liquidity up above this Asian high. This gray zone was actually something that Akshay had pointed out as an area he was looking for reversals from. I think that was on the 1 hour chart. Yeah, it was the 1 hour. It was this 1 hour candle, this wick here. I wasn't too worried about that one though. What I thought, like, it could have a bit of a reaction from here, but where I was really looking at was up in this zone. So this is the same thing, like a little triple wick area, 1 wick, 2 wicks, 3 wicks, then a little rejection where price pushed down. So I thought this would be a great area to be looking for resistance, looking for sells, and prefer to follow this pathway. Okay. Now, if I look at this on the lower time frame, say like the 30 minutes, we've got a rejection wick. So this whole zone is a area of resistance from here to here. Let's look at that on the lower time frame. Let's go 15 minutes now. 15 minutes. No real new information here. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, I think, is where it gets a bit interesting. So 5 minutes, we get a few more little rejection candles. Actually, this doesn't really bring too much more information to the table. I'm still looking at this area, and this is resistances created in the New York session. So they're going to hold more weight to me, in my eyes, than something that's created in that Asian session. So even though I thought there was going to be some good momentum to the upside, I'm not going to touch that until I saw price action where I liked up more or less in this zone. So I really wanted to follow this pathway. This pathway is something I drew, well before price had got there. So it's not like I've just created this after the fact. You can go back and watch the stream from today and see that I had planned this. If I skip forward some of these candles, I've got to get to London Open first. So London Open is this candle. This is the London Open candle, which took the Asian high and then had a strong reaction from it. Okay. Our candle, let me go to the next 30 minutes. Next 30 minutes, you can see is closing bullish from here. Now, because I've got these two candles closed, I can show you the hour time frame. Our time frame is looking like this kind of doji took the low of this 1 hour candle and then broke the high, but didn't close higher. So even though I thought that sales are making sense, I'm patient. I'm a patient trader. So I needed to wait because I didn't really want to. This is not really convincing me to take sells just yet. If I go to the 5 minute time frame, this is where, it's okay to get scalps. Like, I can see a world where this is, maybe you're a divergence trader and you'd see that this is making high highs, maybe have something like MACDs or stochastics or RSIs. I don't prescribe to any of those things. I don't need them. My eyes see some things differently, but this is a classic head and shoulder pattern. Yeah. So I'm not going to argue if anyone wanted to grab sells and was able to take 30 pips out of it. That's an absolutely fine trade. Got 38 pips total. It wasn't for me. Price then respected this support area, and then we started pushing higher, breaking the highs. Now I'm going to go through time a bit slower. So this is the close of the 15-minute candle. 15-minute candle has now got a support created, confirmation of support, and then this 15-minute candle is closing, hella bullish. So the least probable outcome of a trade generally is going to be when price pushes up, hits an area, and then just rejects all the way. But there's some reason this is what everyone wants to happen. They want those quick profits. In reality, price doesn't just hit an area and then drop down. Often it pushes up, does wick fills, takes a time for price to turn around. So you don't need to take the first grab. Sometimes it just takes a while to turn around. And I say this all the time, so it's nothing new here. Once a candle, like a higher time frame candle, let's push forward one more 15-minute candle. This one here is the close of the 30-minute. often when we get to the close of these higher time frame candles, you'll get a bearish candle at the end and or near the end. And what this looks like is like a bit of a rejection candle, and it really gets people interested. But then all that happens is we just start getting wick fill because the momentum's to the upside. When there's momentum to the upside, wicks get filled. Yeah. So pushing next 15-minute candle pushes up into this zone. This was I finished my stream here. This is about the area where I had to end the stream because I had a workshop on. Now, I was always interested in this area. This is where I drew the bloody pathway. Now I just needed to see signs of reversal. Yeah. So something similar to what happened yesterday. We had reaction. No, I took buys on that day. So the day before, we had rejection candle, followed by another little rejection candle. No, wait a second. I took sorry. I took buys here yesterday. This one here I took like a cowboy scalp buy here for like 30 pips. It was the other day. It was this bad boy here where I took those sells, waiting for price to really push up, get that first rejection candle followed by a second rejection candle, anticipating this candle was going to close bearish, and then took those sells. Got to wait for the same thing, right? So being nice and patient and waiting for price to respect this area. Let's just go forward. I'll go forward by 5-minute times. Okay, so I had an alert up here. I said I was going to put an alert. That alert which expired. Let's see if it's down the bottom, or where is it going to be? Is it up in the top maybe? No. It was it doesn't matter which one it is. I'm not going to bother. Oh, this one here. 6th August. No, that's August 6th. August 17th. This one here. 15,770.9. So I wanted to, because you can see the date here. This is when that alert went off. 15,770.9 was more or less here. So that told me price has got to this area, be interested in having a look. Just wait for a rejection candle followed by a second rejection candle, and then the support should break. Price had got up to here, but these are not rejection candles. 5-minute went by. This is nothing candle. Another 5-minute went by. This one is no wick on top. All the chance that this is going to be a wick fill now. So this is where a lot of people go wrong. You jump in thinking that this is a resistance, but all we've got is an hour candle coming to a close. So what do you think is most likely going to happen when you have an hour candle coming to a close with momentum? Next candle, we're thinking that it's probably most likely going to do a wick fill. So price comes back, does the wick fill. Stay on the 5 minutes. Let's just wait. Where do we get rejections from? Here's a rejection candle right here. Okay. Took the high, closed a bearish. Got to wait for a second one. Okay. Getting close. Getting close. This is now, we've got one rejection candle. We've got accumulation of candles just sort of pushing sideways. Now we've just got to simply wait for price to push up. Anticipate it's going to be a bearish candle, close bearish, and then away we go. So let's go to I think it was on the 15 minutes. No, it was on the 5s. So price pushed up. This one closes bullish. Got to wait for a bit longer. Closes bullish again. This one closes bearish. Beauty. This is more or less where the entry was from here. And I got it at 15,785. So as it was breaking the high, anticipating it was going to go bearish, 15 minutes is looking like this candle. Okay, so this is where it's like a little rejection candle on the 5-minute. Little doji, took the high. Most likely will take that doji low now. So the trade was put in at that point. Got in at 15,785. Okay. Target was I'd have to remember exactly. It was about 15,710. Yeah, that's about where it was. That was where it was. The target expected it could go further, but I'm always looking for 50 pips. Closed a lot of it at 50 pips, and then left a runner. I'm going to say this video was just 50 pips because that's where I closed the majority, and this left a runner to keep on pushing down. Next few candles eventually started dropping away. What it took was New York volume. See the time, 1 o'clock. New York volume was the one that entered the market, and then we're able to push away. Always a chance that when you get to these areas, we're going to have a bit of a bounce back and then go in. So when I say like anticipation entry, this was anticipation entry. Cowboy entry would be trying to get in somewhere here. Late entry would be breaking these lows, or confirmation entry. Late entry would be like trying to catch the second entry, second bounce. Okay, so price push down. Okay, there's the little rebound, which is pretty often what happens. And then price just sank. So it was about here, 15,735. When one of the guys asked me on the Discord, am I still holding? And I was actually putting together some IKEA furniture for the house. So had a look, 50 pips plus, closed most of it, left the rest to run, and you beauty. That was an excellent trade. I want to just add something because you can see like the rest is history. It doesn't really matter what happened afterwards. But it just proceeded to just tank, which is, this is where price is currently. This is not a random occurrence, this has been happening quite often. And I'm going to just show you, I did this in the stream, and the way price action sort of behaves around these opens can be pretty similar on a day-to-day basis. So let me show you what it looked like on the 15-minute for this sell here. I'll utilize bar pattern on the 5 minutes for this day. So let me just, oh shit, I did the wrong thing. Monday. Here we go. So it's going to be a little bit different because obviously it's not going to be like identical. Trading would be far too easy if that was the case. But let's have a look at this. This is 5-minute bar pattern. Our price is sort of, you can sort of see the flow. Now let's push that onto the 15-minute for yesterday. Here. It's got to like try squeeze it in a little bit. Because it is very interesting how it works. Okay, just bear with, it's not like identical, but you'll often see how price pushes up from an area. The difference from yesterday was that we made lower highs when price did the sell-off. And another day, this was sort of making higher highs. Okay, but just squint and you can see it. squint your eyes and you can sort of see like how price action does sort of follow the same waves. Now, look at the 5-minute on today. Okay, I'll squeeze this bar pattern back down and I'll just overlay. So remember, this is a completely different day. Monday versus what happened here on today being Thursday. Can you see like how we just turn the sessions off and all these? Oh, no, I want to keep those drawings. Anyway, can you see like how it's quite similar? We get these like impulsive pushes up near the start of the London session. Price was making its waves down. Then once we broke, if I turn actually everything off, like including this, see how price, just looking at this, looking at this blue thing, this pattern here. When price took out like a low, like this low, what it had, it was preceded by a little pullback. And this is an area that people will be having sell stops here. Enter sells, think it's going to break out, but you get a pullback first. Okay. Now, just anticipate that it's going to have that little pullback, and this happens at like New York session. New York session will push down, break a low, then pull back, and then come drop again. What happened today? I'll bring back price. I'll move this out of the way. Is that once the New York session had started, New York session is starting here. When price broke these lows here, New York session broke the lows. Maybe some people got in for like sell stops here. Price pulled back and then continued. Now you got another low here. Price takes that low, pullbacks before continuing. So these pullbacks are quite normal. These pullbacks are opportunities to get in to trades if you've missed the move. So it's not like you always need to get on the first entry. I think that's kind of my lesson I want people to learn, is that you don't need to rush into a trade. You've got plenty of time. You've got way more time than you actually think you do. Okay. The patient trader eats the ripest fruit. Just remember that. Anyway, I'll end that video here. Thank you for tuning in. We've been eating well this week. So let's pray we get beautiful movement on Friday. So ta-ta, enjoy. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.